Okay, we have people joining us on Zoom, people joining us on Facebook. So here we are. Oh, Howard, I see your name. Great. Good morning. So we're talking today about why did God bring the corona? Okay, so we've had part one, part two. Today we're going to go to a deeper explanation, and it's based on Tanya, and here it is. The following explanation, meaning like this. You see, there's two types of good. There's two types of world, so to speak. There's the revealed world and there's the hidden world. So take, for example, a relationship of a parent with a child. So I love my children, and there's two ways for me to express my love to them. I can express my love by, for example, giving them a lollipop, right? My 2-year-old child, I can give him or her a lollipop and they would love it, they would appreciate it. And that's one way of expressing my love for them. But then there's another way of expressing my love for them, and that would be giving them $5,000 in their bank account for their college fund. Right? So, which is the greater good, giving them a lollipop or depositing $5,000 in a hidden in a fund for them in 20 years' time? When they want. So I have a deep love right now for my child. What should I do? Give him a lollipop or give him $5,000? Now, obviously, giving them the $5,000 is a much, much, much greater good and kindness to the child than giving them a lollipop. But ask the child what they prefer, and my 2-year-old child will say, of course, the lollipop, because there's a hidden world that they don't understand in which the $5,000 is much greater. I'll give you another example, right? So Chabad has this international learning by heart competition now. It's called Mishnayot and Tanya Balpeh. So the Chabad has done it beautifully. There's hundreds of kids learning and studying lines by heart. The advantage of learning something by heart is tremendous. So each child has their own account. They log into their account. Each line they learn, they get a certain number of dollars, and then they can redeem the dollars with prizes. It's like a whole beautiful system. So take, for example, my 8-year-old child, Zalman, who I see is listening here to this class. So that's great. So my 8-year-old child studied one full chapter by heart. He knows it by heart. Now, this was an extremely, extremely hard effort for him to study this by heart. In fact, during one of the sessions, he was exerting so much effort, he was crying. He said, I can't do this. And I pushed him. I said, you could do it. Now, obviously, he gets the momentary reward of the prizes, and I give him a piece of nash and all that. But the big reward, he'll only appreciate in a couple of years' time when he's older and more mature, and he'll say, wow, my father pushed me to study those lines by heart, and I know a full chapter by heart. I'm trying to get him this week to complete another chapter, but that's already, he doesn't do that. But the point is, there's a hidden world, and then there's the revealed world. So let's go back to the analogy of God. The revealed world is when God gives us $1 million, God gives us a great job, God helps us with who knows what. But then there's the hidden world. It's called Alma de Itkasia, the hidden world, where God gives us something, and when it comes down into this world, it seems like it's bad, but it's not bad at all. It's hidden good. It's such a deep level of good that when it comes down to this world, we perceive it as being bad, but it's really, really, really not bad at all. It's the greatest level of good. It's a huge, huge, huge level of good, right? As the Tanya says, look at the source in front of you here. Right, so this is what we started discussing yesterday. The Talmud says, just like you bless God for the good, you bless God for the bad as well. But he says here, Ki gam zu letova, because this is also for the good. Rak she'ina niglet v'niret le'nei basal. We don't see it with our own physical eyes. Why? Ki hu me'alma de'itkasia, because it's from the hidden worlds. Shelemala me'alma de'itgalia, which is higher than the revealed world. Yes, Kobe?
You open something because...
Oh, you don't see it?
No.
I'm going to share it again. Hold on. I'm going to share it again. Hold on. What about now? Do you see it now?
No.
Front.
Maybe it's now.
Now
no.
you. Oh, sharing is paused. 1 second. Oh, yes. Hold on. Okay, it's telling me something, some reason why sharing is paused. Now it's good. Now it's good. Oh, no. Okay, I don't know. It's not working. So I'm just gonna. It's one line. It's from Tanya, chapter 26. So the Tanya, the Alter Rebbe says over here that it's from a high level. It's called Alma de Itkasya, Alma de Itkasya, Alma de Itgalia, and it comes from a high level of good. So when we're talking about the famous story of Rabbi Akiva, for example, Rabbi Akiva said that Kolma David Rachmana Letav Avid. So that's a very low level where you say everything God does is for the good. Right now I'm suffering, it's painful, but everything God does is for the good. That's one level. That's the lowest level. Then there's the level of Nachumish Gamzu, where he says Gamzu Letova, with a famous story where the dirt was replaced by diamonds, and that turned out also to be good. So that means with the hidden is the bad is also good. But now we're talking that when God does something bad, it's the greatest level of good, just we don't appreciate it. In other words, when God's bringing us the coronavirus and we see so much suffering and pain, we're losing our jobs, this is the $5,000 college tuition fund. In other words, you want the lollipop? That's one level of good. But God's giving us now the college fund, which is the deepest level, which is Alma Deit Kasya. And this brings us now to one of the most powerful statements, one of the most beautiful and deepest levels of appreciation of pain and suffering. And that is like this. A lollipop, right? As a rabbi in shul, for example, I'll give every child in shul a lollipop. I'll give them all. I'll give all the neighborhood lollipops. I'll give everybody in the street lollipops. It's fun. But how many children am I going to give the $5,000 college fund? The $5,000 college fund I will give only to my child. I won't give it to my neighbor's child. I won't give it to any other child. Why? Because the $5,000 college fund I give only to the people I love the most, the people that are dearest and nearest to me. Those are the people I'll give the $5,000 college fund. David HaMelech says when he was running away from Shaul HaMelech, and he was in the desert, and it was so hard, he had so many yisurim. He said, hasmechim b'yisurim. He said, I'm so happy. Ki tov chastecha mechayim. I'm so happy now. Why? Because when God gives him this pain and suffering, it demonstrates God's tremendous love for him, for you, because God wouldn't give this to anybody else. Kid Tevye in Fiddler on the Roof jokes around. He says, God, couldn't you have chosen another nation once in a while? The fact that God chooses us, the fact that he gives us pain and suffering means that he loves us the most. In other words, like the story I told yesterday, Reb Zusha from Annapolis, when he was suffering, and somebody asked him, how are you so happy? He said, I don't understand what you're talking about. That means he was so happy. He was so thrilled when God afflicts him, so to speak, with pain, because it shows and demonstrates God's tremendous closeness and love to him. Because the $5,000 tuition fund, you only give to the people you love the most. The hidden wills, you only give to the people you love the most. So God, because he loves us so much, brought us this coronavirus. It's a very, very hard topic to understand. And like I said in lesson number 1 of this series, is that when somebody's suffering emotional pain, there's no answer. There's nothing, no explanations, no nothing. But when you think deeply about it and meditate upon it, when you have yisurim, when you have pain and suffering, it means that God is demonstrating that he's closest to you and never been closer before in his entire life. Because the only people he gives a $5,000 tuition fund are the people that he loves the most, your child. Now, the Rebbe used to end off every single talk, every single farbrengen, and especially the last years, when he was talking, he says, we want tov hanir'eh vehanigla. We want good that we could see with our own physical eyes that it's good. In other words, we want that $5,000 tuition fund, but we want to understand how it's good, right? Your child, your two-year-old child, in 20 years' time, when they go to college, they will know and appreciate that that's a much deeper love than the college tuition fund. My son Zalman, in a couple of years' time, will appreciate immensely the effort that I made him put in to studying and to doing his homework and to learning the Mishnah Baal Peh. He'll appreciate it, but right now he doesn't, because he just doesn't get it. His mind doesn't get it. So we one day will appreciate all the yisurim, all the pain, but we asking God, says the Rebbe, We want to see with our own physical eyes how it's good. We don't want you to convince us in the books, it's good, it's great, and everything else. So the truth is, why did God bring us the coronavirus? Because he loves us so much, because he absolutely adores us. And he's giving us the $5,000 tuition fund. But at the same time, we want Tov Hanireh V'Hanigleh. In the words over here, the text that I have in front of me, I can't share it today, I don't know why. Inyan Smeichim B'Yisurim. It's people who are happy with the Yisurim. We are so excited to receive this kind of Yisurim, this kind of pain, because this shows us and demonstrates to us how God loves us so much. I've unmuted everybody here. If anybody has any questions on this 10-minute power class, thank you all so much for joining.
Thank you, Rabbi.
Thank you, Rabbi.
Thank you, Scott. Toda rabba, Ted. Toda.
Rabbi,
מה קוראים בשבועות?
שבועות זה בעייתי קצת. אנחנו מחלקים עוגות גבינה היום במנהטן.
בלילה בשבועות הרי נוהגים לקרוא...
כן, תיקון ליל שבועות. אז היום, בשבועות, כן, זה בעיה. אנחנו לא יכולים לפתוח את הבית כנסת. עדיין לא. Hi, David. Good morning. How are you?
Morning. Sorry, I'm late.
Oh, you're just joining us now. I'll send you the recording of this whole thing.
Yeah.
אני הבנתי שבקייג'י פותחים, עושים איזושהי
לא יודע.
הכרה של מניין.
Okay, Kobe, I need to share אליך. All right, I'm going to end this meeting here.
okay, have a good day, Rabbi.
Wonderful.
Rabbi, Toda Rabbah.
Take care, Scott. Thank you.
I'll catch the recording.
All right, I'll send it to you.